All right, first startup after the tune. What you guys just listened to was the initial startup of my supercharged Mustang GT after getting work done at Modern Muscle out here in Illinois. Now, this is hopefully the first as well as the last time I'm ever making a video like this on my channel. I absolutely hate making negative videos, whether it be on my car channel or my gaming channel. It just isn't my style, and I don't like to push out negativity, but I feel like this is very important just in case other people decide to get work done from this shop, or if something else were to happen at a different shop and maybe one of you guys or multiple of you guys were to ever run into a situation like this, because I feel like I handled it the best way possible that not only protected me, but also protected my car and could save a lot of you guys some money. So I went ahead and got injectors installed as well as a dyno tune for my supercharged Mustang GT. Whenever you guys are boosting a vehicle, whether it be turbo or supercharger, it's always recommended, technically required, to go ahead and upgrade your fuel system. Now, I had Modern Muscle install injectors on my car because whenever you do an injector installation for any vehicle, you're going to have to get a tune because the car is not, one, going to start, and if it does start, it is not going to run right whatsoever. This shop's about an hour from my house, so it was not feasible for me to do the install by myself, get the car towed over there. It would cost more than what it have been to just have the car, driven over there and had them do the injector installation and tune the car. It just made more sense, and it was the most logical decision to do. Now, I've actually uploaded a video on my channel previously of me driving my car over there, working 110%. Nothing was wrong with the car. And when I get it back from them, obviously there is a misfire and whatever else is wrong with the car. Now, when I initially started up the car, I immediately noticed that the car was running a little bit lean after getting the tune. Now, you guys saw in that initial recording, it was about 11, for the AFRs, which, after it started to warm up, it was around the 14.6, 15.6 range of where it should be, when you have a boosted application. And I immediately noticed the misfire. Actually, I noticed the misfire a couple seconds after turning on the car, after it actually got up to temp. So I went outside, actually recorded a video on my phone, which I'm actually going to go ahead and put on the screen for you guys right now for you guys to listen to. You guys could definitely go ahead and tell that the car is in fact misfiring. And once that did happen, I knew that the best thing that I could possibly do would just to be shut off the car and go back into the shop and say, hey, I think my car is misfiring. Can somebody come out here, take a look at it? If somebody can come out here and scan a code to make sure the car, is in fact misfiring, or whatever other code the car does throw. Now, obviously, or what should be done once you get a dyno tune or any type of modifications done to a car is there should be a test drive after you get some work done. Now, I was told by somebody working there that the car did actually receive a test drive after it was off the dyno. Now, obviously, the car was not misfiring on the dyno, or at least I hope it was not misfiring on the dyno. And number two, I was told that the car was not misfiring during the test drive. Now, here's where the things kind of get interesting. When the gentleman actually went ahead, I'm not going to obviously go ahead and name some names because it's irrelevant. It's just the whole, shop in general. When the gentleman went ahead and actually plugged in the scanner tool, it wasn't connecting to the ECU. He had to go ahead and use a different scan tool to actually connect to the ECU. Now, this can also kind of raise an alarm that, okay, if obviously he didn't notice a misfire, which in my personal opinion, it was kind of obvious. I think you guys could definitely tell as well. Just listening to the vehicle, it was 110% misfiring. Why is there need to do a scan tool for an obvious, condition the car is in? Maybe to go ahead and pick up some more codes, that's obviously, a good idea. But from the fact that the first scan tool that was used did not pick up a misfire, who knows? Maybe the car was misfiring and they literally had no idea because one of their scan tools wasn't working. Now, he did go ahead and use a different device to scan the car, and it, in fact, was misfiring. So what's kind of weird to me is, how does a vehicle that apparently got off the dyno, wasn't misfiring, went ahead and did a test drive, wasn't misfiring, magically go ahead and develop a misfire within under 24 hours of me going ahead and picking up the car? Now, I got a phone call the day before at 4:45 p.m. that the car was ready to get picked up. I went ahead and picked up the car the next day at 8 a.m. p.m. or technically 9:30 p.m. or 9:30 a.m. to go pick up the car. And I noticed, a misfire or whatever else is wrong with the car. Now, here's where the customer service is lacking and where I got frustrated. And this is primarily why I'm making this video, to protect some of you guys and kind of explain the situation. Now, whether or not this was a coincidence that the car developed a misfire during the period of time of me, I guess dropping the car off with them, or technically not even, between the period of them doing the test drive and not noticing a misfire and me picking it up, even if that was a coincidence, the customer service is very important at this point. Now, literally word for word, I wish I kept my camera recording at this time. The guy literally said it has to be a coincidence that the car is misfiring. Now, obviously working on vehicles, I don't believe in coincidences. I personally do not. Because from the fact that the car did not throw a check engine light off immediate startup, which you guys saw in the startup clip. Number two, the first scan tool that they used did not detect any, or didn't even pick up the ECU. So who knows what went down, if they were even aware of it misfiring. And number three, the fact that they didn't notice a misfire, just walking out immediately after hearing the car, because I did, and I knew it was misfiring, and it was confirmed that it was in cylinder 6, is very interesting to me, and I don't think that that is a coincidence at all. Now, that's kind of where I began to get frustrated. Obviously, I wasn't like screaming and yelling and cussing anybody out. I was simply like expressing my, concerns and my frustration. A first-time customer at a shop, I get, work done under, the fuel management system injectors. I also get a tune. I drop the car off in perfectly working order. The car is on the dyno in perfectly working order. They say they do the test drive. The car is in perfectly working order. They say when I pick it up, it's not in perfectly working order, confirmed by them. That's kind of where I get frustrated. I went ahead and expressed that, and he simply says it has to be a coincidence. No, there's no possible way that's a coincidence. Also, the guy got pretty defensive when I was kind of questioning him on this, saying, it sounds like you're blaming me. No, I'm questioning your whole shop in general, what was going on during the period of the dyno tune, the test drive, and me picking the car up, because I think that's reasonable. Anybody, especially a first-time customer, after they get work done from a vehicle, if you drop it off in perfectly working order, if you guys get work done and they get tuned and they say it's in perfectly working order, and they do a test drive and they say it's in perfect working order, and you turn the car on, not even driving it, not even revving it, and it's not in perfect working order, I'm pretty sure anybody would wonder, okay, what actually is going on here? And here is the most important reason why I'm actually making this video, and I feel like most people will actually benefit from this listening to this story. Now, after me immediately going ahead and turning on my car and noticing a misfire, and even after somebody working at the shop went ahead and scanned the car twice and confirmed a misfire, they didn't even have the courtesy to keep the car there and run diagnostics. Now, I pretty much had to demand that I was not going to leave the shop in my car until they actually went ahead and ran diagnostics and figured out exactly what's going on. I simply had to say, I am not driving this car home. It is staying right here. It's going right back in the shop, and you guys are going to figure out exactly what's going wrong, because of the fact that I, number one, never left property, and number two, didn't even rev the car or, like I said, leave property. This is your concern. This is something you need to go ahead and fix. And I feel like a lot of people need to understand that is, if you guys get work done at any shop, and when you initially turn on the car, I want you guys to make sure you are recording a video. And if you notice something funny, ask questions. And if you are not sure, if you have some type of doubt, or in this case there is something confirmed wrong, and that being a misfire, I mean something as serious as a misfire, because a misfire can lead to rod knock, which at that point your motor is done. You don't want to drive off property with the car. It needs to go right back in the shop, and they need to go ahead and figure out what's going wrong. And that's something that I pretty much had to demand the shop to go ahead and do. And honestly, it's kind of pathetic that I had to go ahead and deal with the situation. It just doesn't really make any sense. I feel like this is probably the worst thing that can happen to anybody after getting work done, especially work dealing with ignition and tuning and on a boosted application, because I understand there are risks with boosting a car, but considering the fact that my car, number one, arrived there in perfect working order, it was on the dyno in perfect working order, confirmed by them. They took the test drive and the car was in perfect working order, confirmed by them, or if it even was, and they went ahead and ran a scan on the car and found a known problem, a serious problem, a misfire, and they didn't even have the courtesy to offer me immediately, without even question, to go ahead and, you know, run a diagnostic and look over the car. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way. And honestly, I want everybody to learn from the situation. Hopefully you never have to run into the situation. If you guys do, make sure you guys are smart. I know you guys want the car back ASAP. I know I was upset because I had to drive an hour away and I wanted to go ahead and have fun with my car. But obviously, you know, things like this, it's better just to be safe than sorry. Let them go ahead and figure out what's going down, and then make your decision down the line. If you, number one, you want them to fix the work they did, or have them tow it somewhere else and have somebody else take care of the work if it's something that you don't trust them to do. So again, I hate making videos like this, but I feel like I have to, because the customer service is terrible. And I think that a lot of people, at least I would think, a lot of people probably ran into a similar situation where you picked up a vehicle from a shop, turned it on, didn't even drive it, and, you know, things went wrong. Because it's not like, well, it's just he said, she said situations here. It's not like something went wrong on the dyno. This is after they confirmed the car was in perfect working order. I turn it on, and then it's, you know, the whole defense game at that point. It's your fault, not ours type stuff. Come on. I mean, what do you think I'm supposed to think at that point? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. If you guys experienced this, like I said, I want to help you guys out. Again, I don't like making negative videos like this, but this had to be said. Yeah, it's been your boy Ears POV, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one when I get some updates. Deuces.